I want you to have an experience that you will never, ever forget. We want to make this a big event for you. Our goal is to change your lives. This is what you have to go through. Anybody can be 1X or 2X. To get to these multipliers, to blow the roof off of your life and career to 10X in your business.
The greatest entrepreneurial conference on the planet.
Last year, I was in the negative, and now I'm here, man. I turned my business around, and now I'm trying to get to that next level.
We went from sleeping on an office floor 6 years ago to now running a multi-million-pound business, all from grants material.
10X your lives. 10X the lives of the people around you. Give more than you take, and I promise you, you will get more than you ever dreamed of. This dude that I have today, self-made, super multi-millionaire, global TV sensation, best-selling author, and oh my God, when he drops on stage, people listen. That's right, my friend, my buddy, a fisherman, a hunter, a killer, Daymond John. Hey, what's going on, man?
Oh man, I'm living in the greatest city ever made, man.
God damn, you look good.
Oh shit, I got my Christmas jacket on. My wife gave me.
Dude, what is that? Is that purple you got on today?
No, man. It's not purple, baby. It's black, just like me. Competition black. That's what I am.
Oh my God, dude! I've been talking up. Well, what about the hat? Is the hat black or purple?
The hat is blue, baby. It's the Yankees, the most winningest team in sports history.
Oh my God, you're gonna be giving me an education today, huh?
I'm gonna hang out with winners, baby. That's why I'm hanging out with you. What's up?
Look, I was just being blasphemous, what is the word? Blasphemous, because I'm like, Daymond John used to be my friend, but he comes to Miami to go to Art Basel and doesn't call me up and say, hey, come roll with me, man.
Listen, I'll be there in the second, third, and fourth, man. I'm gonna hit you up. I keep forgetting that you live in Miami, man, because I think you live kind of like West Palm. So
I didn't want to go up there, man, because it's too boring. Everything's predictable.
Why is it predictable?
Up in West Palm?
Oh, I thought you meant Art Basel. I got you. Yes.
No, I'm down here in the land of controversy and change and diversity. Hey, Art, Daymond John, I really appreciate you being here with me today. You're coming down February 1st, 2nd, and 3rd to do your third 10X Growth Conference.
That's right, man.
Why are you coming, man?
I want to be around like-minded people, man. I like all the people that you have on stage, but more importantly, man, you're one of the only, maybe Gary hits a young, energetic crowd, man. You're one of the only people that have an energetic crowd. They want to 10X themselves. I feed off their energy. It is amazing. When I'm in that room with your people, it is amazing. It is infectious, and they are hungry. And I love speaking to them, because then I myself, being greedy, I get some knowledge from them on what their challenges are, what everything else is, and I get to then think about it, and it makes me even smarter as I put more information out there in the world.
Yeah, so the first deal that we did together, there was 2,200 people there.
Yeah.
Next deal, there was 10,000.
Uh-huh.
This time, there'll be 30,000+ people there.
If somebody's not learning, listen, you're 10Xing yourself every time, right? Think about that. You're 10Xing your goddamn self. So you're proof. You're an example of what you're telling people to do. I love it.
And do you think, now just think about being in the audience, because I know that you're a student as well.
Yeah.
Is that too big? Does it get too big at some point, Daymond, where it doesn't feel intimate? I think some people are concerned about that. Is it going to feel intimate? Is it going to, is 35,000 people too big, and am I going to get lost in that? What
Absolutely not, because the information that you're sharing is the fundamentals. And then second of all, when you start to see other people in the room that have the same challenges as you and the same ambitions as you, again, it becomes infectious. If you ever go see Tony Robbins, it's the same thing. You become part of a tribe. You realize that all the people that laughed at you to go to 10X or any other place that you are going, all those people who told you it never's going to work, well, why the hell are they broke? Telling you that, you realize you're in a room full of other people who thought just like you, who had the same haters out in the world, and you said, fuck that to everybody else, and there's a whole room full of people that said, fuck that to everybody else, and that's why they're there.
And how important is it for you as an entrepreneur, right, to get into to be with new audiences, new people, strangers, like people you don't know?
That's the whole reason I really do Shark Tank, right? When you think about it, if I wasn't doing Shark Tank, I'd be doing business the same way that all my colleagues are doing business now, and they're done, right? I'd be doing business the same way that 20 years ago I was doing business, making a shirt. Hopefully Macy's sells it. But the reason I'm on Shark Tank is I get to feed off these younger and smarter people and invest in younger and smart people. That's the same reason I come to do 10X. I've met so many people at a couple of your 10Xs that I actually invested in some of them. Some of them have helped. I even hired one or two of those people from 10X. So I get to see and be around people who are thinking different. And that's what diversity is. Whether you're diversifying your portfolio or you're diversifying your education or you're diversifying the people that you're around, it's extremely important.
Well, I know that you do a number of speaking gigs every year. What do you do mostly? Big corporate deals? You get invited to a lot of things.
I do probably about 30% corporate, 30% private entities, and then maybe 30% where it's schools, charitable foundations, and things like that.
Yeah, and I'm in the charitable foundation category.
You're in the private sector / school.
Uh-huh. And what's different about those audiences? Because you do a lot more of that than I do. So I'm selfishly asking, what's the difference between moving from a corporation to?
Well, the corporation, they want their people to speak as and think like entrepreneurs, work within the system and be able to grow within the system and create change. And usually it's top management that I'm speaking to, because if top management doesn't pass it down, they always say the fish, stinks at the head, right? Schools, it's usually, students who want to know, what do I do when I get out of school? All right, I have this education, but the education it's only going to get me in the door. How do I solve problems? How do I think? Whether I'm going to be an entrepreneur or an intrapreneur. And foundations and charitable organizations, it's the same thing. They have a product that they're trying to issue to people or to get them behind something. So I have to have them think as education as an entrepreneur, because a lot of them, they may run a business and they only look at it as a charitable business. And the only difference between a charitable foundation and a real business is just the filing on your tax returns, but they still need to run it like a business. Because if you can't keep the lights on, then how many people or animals can you help?
Yeah. And how does this, like, when you walk into a room with 35,000 people, Daymond, that are coming from around the world, we have 50 plus countries right now represented with seats. Yeah. We have about, just let me give you the breakdown. We have about 4,000 firemen, policemen, military, nurses, and teachers that I funded those seats for.
Nice.
A bunch of students, probably 10% of the audience is Miami, 10 or 15% is Miami run businesses. And the rest of the audience is everywhere from 18 years old to literally 80 years old coming in. Look, we have an 80-year-old coming saying, hey, I need to learn more about sales.
That's right.
So what do you hope to share with those people in the limited time you have there because of your schedule?
Well, first of all, what are the fundamentals? What are you going to invest in first? Of course, you're going to invest in yourself. And then what are the tools and the assets you're going to need, right? How do you expand your network? How do you go get the education to then go and find out what works best for you, right? Those are a couple of things you're going to need. You're gonna also hear, often when you hear speakers like myself, you and various other people, what you do is the thing that attracts you the most, you start to hear more and more and more throughout everybody else speaking. So I may be the one telling you got to get up before everybody else and go to sleep after everybody else. You got to change your habits. Make one key decision this year that's going to change your habits, right? How does money compound? How does friends compound? How do all these things? What do you do with your savings? No, you don't save it. You put it to work. You and I both know that savings is nothing. Cash is a depreciating asset. If you buried $150,000, 30 years ago, then what would it be now when you dig it up? Well, maybe it buys you a Mercedes, right? But if you put it in stocks or bonds or even a nice diamond, what would that diamond be now? It would be $2 million. And your brain is like a diamond. So what are you doing with this cash? You got to find ways to deploy it so it brings you back. Like Kevin O'Leary likes to say, cash is like my little soldiers. They go out and they catch people and they bring them back.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
We're talking about all these fundamentals while we're on stage, and you're going to hear the same thing through whether it's myself or you or various other speakers. And then sooner or later, if you keep putting all that good in, good is going to start coming out.
Look, man, you're one of the only people that I'm bringing back this year, okay? I love working with you. You and Russell Brunson are only two dudes I brought back.
I love it. I love it. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Because I love working with you. I like the way you think. I love our Q&A. It's very easy working with you, right? So, and I know we have some different opinions about some things, which I think is good for the audience to hear.
Absolutely. Listen, no, there's no one way to win.
Yeah.
There's a million ways to get you to win in this game.
And I love, I just know that I've learned a lot watching you collaborate and network with other people, and how you're able to mix and move into many different audiences.
Yeah.
You're like a chameleon like that, man.
Listen,
is that a skill, dude, that people need to be start thinking with 30 days out from the conference? Like, hey, how am I going to move into this conference and network with people? Do you have any tips on how you do that?
Absolutely. So listen, we can always talk about sales, but what is sales, man? It's the fact that you're getting somebody to feel that there's something of value in what you have, and the most important thing to sell is yourself, right? So in all reality, what has ever gotten me wherever I am in life, it was other people that got me. So life is a series of mentors and a series of relationships, and if you really look at it, everybody watching us now and everybody who's going to be at 10X, the reality is, networking is by far the most powerful thing you can do. You see, if you came over to me and said, "Hey, I need a plumber," well, I may not introduce you to my cousin because he screwed me over for the last 10 years. So, and he may be a good plumber, but I don't want him to screw you over. And then all of a sudden you say, "Hey, your cousin fucked me up and I'm not dealing with you no more." But if I met somebody at a bar who said, "You know what, I'm a plumber, I have a business, I got 30 people who work for me, here's my card, man, if you ever need me, just let me know," I'll refer that person before my cousin. You know what? Because there's a disclaimer. "Hey, I just met this person at a bar, don't really know him that well. Hey, you should check him out." And what happened? That's how networking works. I mean, that's the whole reason we even have social media, isn't it? Networking. I like what you're saying. I'm going to share it with other people. I'm going to follow you. I'm going to do what you want because you're going to do what I need at the same time. So networking by far is the most important thing that you can do, and being a 10X around a whole bunch of like-minded people while having an education. Yeah.
How easy, this is kind of a setup question, but how easy does it make it for somebody to network when it's called the 10X Growth Conference?
I mean, that's it. But you got to go out there, whether it's 10X or any place else, you got to sell yourself. You got to make people feel good about you. Yeah. All I'm saying is the people that are coming there, you said it earlier, they're coming because they want to 10X. Like-minded people. Like-minded people. Yeah, they're there. Yeah. To find other like-minded people that they can work with. Yeah. I see, listen, when I'm out there on the road, because a lot of people, I see them with their 10X stuff on and they come and talk to me. A lot of them are very successful people. Yeah. I've seen people at your conference that they already are successful themselves, but they're there because they're bringing their significant other or they're bringing a family member. Yeah, a lot of that. And then they're saying to themselves, while they're there, "Holy shit, I learned something else." Yeah. Hey, dude, when you're on the road, do people come up to you and say, "Hey, do you know Grant Cardone?" Yeah, they do. They usually say, "I really like how you help Grant Cardone. He's a budding entrepreneur, and I just like what you do for him." Yeah, no shit, guys. Look, everything that I know, everything I'm experiencing, all the great things that are happening in my life is because of Daymond John. Okay. You're welcome. And Merry Christmas. Yeah. And I don't know how many of you know the story about how I met Daymond, but this is classic networking. Like, what do you have to do to lift your brand up and to get close to people that are connected? Daymond, there's a lot of people out there starting the first of the year. Two more things and I'm gonna let you go, dude. But how important is this happening on February 1st? 30 days into the new year. If you were 30 years old today and this was your 2019, how important would this date be to you getting your mind on track to go where you want to go? Well, mentally, you made a commitment already today to take on this journey, in February. Being 30 years old, I think we've all been there. You don't want to be a man who is, broke in 30. You had all these hopes and these dreams, or you may be somebody who's already feeling that way. You may be a female as well. Same thing, man or female, right? New year, new you. It's the beginning of the year. You mentally were set and ready for this in February, December, because you committed yourself to this. I don't think that anybody coming there should just come there cold. I think you should prepare yourself also. You should read up as much as you can, read up on the speakers, read up on anything you can. Prepare yourself. Know the questions that you want to get some answers to, because whether it's a speaker on stage giving you the answers or whether it's a person sitting right next to you, have your stuff ready.
Yeah. So what's the intention? You're like, hey, what's my intention? And couldn't I start getting something out of that? You just remind me, like, why wouldn't I start networking right now with people that are going by going on Facebook saying, who's going? Hey, I'd like to meet you. What are you doing? Is there anything I can do to help you or assist you with?
Absolutely. That's what you got. That's what social media is about. The way that Gary says it is give, give, and then sell. And that could be yourself. It doesn't have to be a product. Hey, who's going to 10X? We're going to be out there in beautiful Miami around a whole bunch of like-minded people. What can I do for you? Here's what I'm looking for. Anybody else out there with me? Let's rock out. Let's roll together. Where's your seat at? Where's my seat at? Let's get it together.
Yeah.
Trust me, you will be amazed at the amount of energy and the people that will feed into and say, I'm going. Let's get together. Let's do this. This
guy right here, guys, you got to get a chance to spend time with Daymond John. Okay, I know what I had to do to get time with this guy. It's easy. All you got to do is grab your seat at 10xgrowthcon.com. What would you say to somebody that had to borrow money to do this, or they're down to their last $400 or $500 or $1,000? They're already having money trouble. Should they invest in this?
Well, they're investing in themselves, right?
Yeah.
I got to be very honest. I've never, I can't say never, but very, very rarely have I ever co-signed on a place that I'm going to be, because, it's just not in my best interest, right? I should co-sign on only the things that I'm going to do. But I'll be very honest. When I was coming up, I used to borrow every single thing I could to go to a Tony Robbins or go to a Jay Abraham or any of those kind of, those kind of conferences. And it changed my life. It really did.
You borrowed money personally to go to conferences.
I borrowed money personally. I remember selling one of my cars because I wanted to go to a Tony Robbins thing. Not one of my cars. It was my only car at the time.
Yeah. Right? Don't be acting like you had a bunch of cars, man.
I'd rather take the bus, right? So this is truly investing in yourself. And for me to get on here and tell everybody that I'm telling you, this is amazing. It's 3 days of what you need to know. Trust me on this one. It's very, very powerful.
Largest entrepreneur conference ever held in the history of the world, my friend.
Is it? Really?
Totally.
Wow. I didn't even know that.
By 10,000 people. Come on, man. Come on, man. Little man. What about promoting GC every once in a while?
That's why I'm here, man.
Okay.
I'm here, baby.
Okay.
On the holiday, look, nobody else is in my office. I decided, listen, I want to come in. I want to talk to GC, baby.
Yeah. I love you, man. I love you. And guys, that's why I'm having this guy back. I love his message. He came from very humble beginnings. I mean, look at the wave he's riding right now. He talked about the wave. Maybe you're starting to ride your wave. Maybe you're trying to find your wave. Maybe your wave is dying out. Every wave dies out, by the way.
Yeah, maybe you're reinventing yourself. That's important too. Like every 10 years, you have to find a way to reinvent yourself.
And maybe you don't know where the wave is right now. You're out there. Is this going to be the year? How big a year is this going to be for you, Daymond? Are you committed right now? Are you thinking about, 2019 BYE, baby, best year ever?
I got some massive changes coming this year. I'm super, super excited. I'm turning the big 50. I know you're like 100. So what did you do 50 years ago when you turned 50?
Dude, I just hope you look as good as I do when you're my age.
You're right about that. I saw you in that onesie, man. You weren't even holding your stomach. You look good on Instagram.
That's right. You saw the package too, huh?
No, I didn't.
You look.
You always look beautiful when you're standing next to that amazingly smart woman. But yeah, I got some major things coming in this year. And again, I'm taking inventory like right now, right? End of the year, what do? I take inventory. I reset my goals. Some expire in 6 months, some expire in a year, 5 years, and 20 years. I also write down my A goals and my B goals. I try to concentrate just on my A, and I'll get to the B because those are not as important, and I don't want to overload myself. I also write a list. I take inventory of myself. Where are my assets and where are my liabilities? Where are my assets, meaning what friends do I have and what am I doing in life? Is the next 10 years what I want to do? I want to act like I'm only going to be around for 10 more years. So I want to do everything I want to do here. And what are my liabilities? What are the things that I'm weak at? What are the things that I don't like doing? And I've been doing it because other people thought that I should do it. But you know what? Fuck that. I'm not living for everybody else.
Yeah.
those things, and I come back the next year excited.
Bam. I can't wait, dude. I can't wait to see you. I appreciate you spending time with me today. Thank you again so much for being willing to give back to this conference and do this. Daymond's doing this for no money, just so everybody knows. He's coming down here.
You, man. You know what? And be very honest, you took on a really big
beast, baby. It's a beast.
You took on a big undertaking. So the beauty of that is everybody can learn that no matter what level we get to, we have to always challenge ourselves. And you took on a really big challenge, and not only is going to, give you that satisfaction, know you did it, but it's going to educate a lot of other people.
Yeah.
To go out.
What are they saying out there on the streets, man? Cardone taking on a 35,000 person event.
Yeah, they're basically saying that I would never want to do that. Why would he do that? That's a huge, huge undertaking. Like you can go and just publicly speak like I do. I'm speaking to 35,000 people myself, but that's a year full of speaking.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's a big undertaking, man.
Well, hey, just to drop a little fear up in your ass, because I know it makes you feel good. Look, the stadium, the what's it called? The stage is massive.
Yeah.
So it is massive. Huh?
I'm a moonwalk on that bad boy.
Let me tell you just something. What you need to think about is what's behind you. 9,000 square feet of LED.
Nice.
9,000 square feet. That's 10 apartment homes that I rent. So
that's a lot.
It's massive, dude. You're gonna be the biggest you've ever been, bro. Like it's gonna be freaking massive.
That's great. I'm going to get my poses ready for stage.
Okay. Yeah, and you
my
got
sizzle reel.
30 days to get all leaned out.
No, I'm not going to do that.
No.
I'm just going to get up there like this, baby.
Yeah, you got that movie thing. Okay, Daymond John, February 1st, 2nd, 3rd. He'll be at the conference with you. Daymond, if you got a little extra time to stick around town, dude, and have a drink with me the night after you speak, I sure would like that.
Absolutely. I love you. And tell everybody else out there watching right now, happy holidays. Be safe. We love you all. Stay healthy. And we're going to see you at 10X.
Yeah, and we will make this the best year ever. I'm committed. Daymond John's committed. We'll do what we can on our end. Daymond, thank you so much, buddy. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, grab your seats, folks. 10xgrowthcon.com, 10xgrowthcon.com. Heroes, firemen, policemen, nurses, teachers, all military, active and inactive in this country and outside. We still have a handful of those seats. Go to grantcardone.com/heroes. Grab your seat for free. Entrepreneurs, get to the conference. Daymond John, I love you, dog. Love you like a brother, man. Okay? Okay, you guys, I'll see you there. Okay, make 2019 your best year ever.
I want you to have an experience that you will never, ever forget. We want to make this a big event for you. Our goal is to change your lives. This is what you have to go through. Anybody can be 1X or 2X. To get to these multipliers, to blow the roof off of your life and career to 10X in your business.
The greatest entrepreneurial conference on the planet.
Last year, I was in the negative, and now I'm here, man. I turned my business around, and now I'm trying to get to that next level.
We went from sleeping on an office floor 6 years ago to now running a multi-million pound business, all from grants material.
10X your lives. 10X the lives of the people around you. Give more than you take, and I promise you, you will get more than you ever dreamed of.
I'm excited. I'm pumped. There's very few of my fellow speakers that, I get excited about taking the stage with. I'm about to take with Grant Cardone at the 10X conference, and he always throws some really good questions at me, and I always keep asking him, how's he going to 10X me? You'll see. Sales is by far the #1 reason why companies exist. The world has the opportunity to buy anything from anybody in the world. We pick out our iPhone, we pull out our iPhone, we can buy anything. Why am I buying it from you? There's only 2 ways to operate a business: reduce costs and increase sales. There's only 3 ways, and I've shared this with you before, to deal with a potential or a customer. There's only 3 ways to deal with it: acquire a new one, upsell a current one, or make one buy more frequently. But all that is sales.
Say that again. You said a couple of things.
Acquire
only 2 ways.
Only 2 ways to operate a business.
Yeah.
Reduce costs.
Reduce cost.
Or increase sales. That's it. Only 3 ways to deal with the customer: acquire a new one, upsell a current one, or make one buy more frequently. That's it. I'm a guy who came from the streets. I'm going to talk about it in a very simple way, not this high level, you know what I mean, into this stuff. It's like for everyday people to understand. And if you understand these simple basics and fundamentals, then you can build upon it and make sure you do it your way.
So when you're evaluating a company like in Shark Tank, I don't know what goes on behind the scenes. I'm like, how these guys are buying these companies? Okay? So I don't know how much of that you can tell me.
I can tell you a little bit.
You can?
Yeah.
I love you, man. So like when I watch you do it, it seems pretty simple. You're like either interested in it or not. It either fits your
well, no, because you got to think about it like this. Half of those pitches are anywhere from 45 minutes to 2.5 hours. You're going to see 8 minutes of it, and that's 8 minutes of it, and they have 24 cameras shooting all of us, shooting each chart, whatever. So they technically have about 24 hours worth to narrow down to 8 minutes. So my thought process is going through various things, and you're only seeing a little bit of it. Often somebody will come on Shark Tank, and I will say, man, I hate this idea. And then all of a sudden they'll talk about the number of sales they have and where they sold it, and all of a sudden, wait a minute, I'm the idiot here, you know what I mean? I didn't realize how good it is, right? And then others, I would say, this is the greatest thing ever. However, I realized that I am not a good partner for this because I don't see the vision. I always joke about Lori, but I'm serious. She is what we call the flea market of Shark Tank. If it's $20 in plastic, she's gonna sell it, right? She sells more plastic than Happy Meals at McDonald's, right? That's Lori, that's her thing. And I remember somebody coming on with a little clip that you put on the edge of your shirt or suit or blouse, and it's to hold your glasses in case you fall down. Now, Tommy Bahama, myself, many designers have been making a little hole in the top of the pockets to put glasses in. So I said, this is crap, it'll never work. However, Lori's been selling reading glasses for 15 years to a consumer base that supports her. She goes on and buys this little piece of crap, and she's done $10 million worth of this garbage. Wow. And I hate it. You hate it. I think the lesson we can learn from this is all of you who are trying to raise capital, find partners, make sure you're not so eager to make sure the partner only is a dollar partner and they're not a strategic partner, and what's in it for you. How will you value? Now, if you're going out and you're raising like a, Random shows you how to get capital from the bank, then okay, the return is interest that they will get paid upon. But if you're looking for strategic partners and they don't see the value in your company, they can actually hinder you because that's a percentage you're giving away to somebody who's not going to bring value to you when you could have gave it away to somebody's going to pay and they're going to bring value. So be very conscious of where you get money from. All money is not good money.
What does that mean, all money is not good money?
Well, all the money is not good money. If you came to me and you said, hey, I'm doing that glasses, those type of deal, then I would say, okay, here's your $200,000 that you're asking for, but then you call me and say, well, can you help me get to the reading glasses market, or the optical market? I said, I don't know anybody there. You should have done a deal and taken $100,000 instead from somebody else who said, I'm a distributor, I'm a manufacturer.
So you're saying the guy I sold you a piece of my business.
Yeah, and then
you can't actually help me.
I can't help you.
So he's saying all money's not good money.
All money's not good money. Also, don't take your money too soon.
That's what I was going to ask you. And would a person be better off than selling a piece of the business, be better off taking a loan out?
Taking a loan out, doing other things. OPM doesn't have to be other people's money, because the other people's manufacturing, mind power, manpower, marketing. When I first got an order for $50,000 t-shirts, I remember going over and saying, all right, the store, they didn't want to give me, I didn't have the money. They didn't want to give me the money straight up because I would have bought a brand new Hyundai. You know what I mean? If you would have given me $50,000 at that time. I went over to my screen printer. He was making my shirts for $6. I said, do me a favor. I'll give you $7 if you make the shirts for me, and you're going to deliver them directly to the store. The store will pay you. I don't have the money in advance. But the screen printer said, all right, I was normally making X, now I'm going to make more on it. I know this kid ain't got the money, but I know the store has the money, and that store also may come and use me for other screen printing. The store said, I trust the business who's been around, not the kid. Okay, what did it cost me? I wouldn't have had those sales anyway. It didn't cost me anything on my company.
Do you guys understand what he just laid out there? So, and now how did you come up with that creativity?
Because I was broke.
Yeah.
And I had to.
And you were committed to another outcome.
I had to figure it out, right?
Yeah.
And many of us do the same thing. We go out and we say we want these orders, and what happens? You may end up getting an order.
Yeah.
And then you're like, what the hell did I do?
Yeah.
How am I going to figure this out?
How much creativity do you think comes
And I was interested because Sarah Blakely was here this morning.
Into what?
Sarah was here, and I was like, I wonder how much different she's running her company today when she has money as opposed to when she had $5,000. How much of a disability is money? Because I think a lot of people think if they had money, it'd all be great.
Huge disability, huge. That's why I wrote The Power Broke, because once I started to make a lot of money, I went and started acquiring companies, and I decided to do exactly what I had not done before. I bought the high-priced marketing agency. I bought all these big salespeople and all these other people who promised to sell stuff. But you know, if you don't roll up your sleeves and you dig into it yourself, you don't know what people are telling you the truth or not. And $6 million later, I realized that I blew the money. Now I figure it out, even now, today.
And if you didn't have that money then, would you have still figured it out but not lost the $6 million?
I would have figured it out.
Yeah.
I would have figured it out. You know, money becomes, you know, and also, you know, let me tell you something. When your business is suffering and you're like, well, let me just spend more advertising, and the salespeople and everybody else are like, well, you know what else you need to do? No, you need to sell. Right? Stop telling me. All you're selling me is how long I should keep paying you.
Yeah.
Right? You need to go and take your ass out and sell. And you need to know how to sell personally yourself.
The CEO?
The CEO has to sell.
But the CEO's a CEO. I mean, shouldn't the CEO be some guy in the office delegating and telling people what to do?
Yeah, I mean, they should be, or they could also be a guy who now has to leverage everything they have in their life because they weren't on the front line selling. You know, they were showing up at the trade show a day late and leaving a day early, right? They were letting their CMOs and all these other people who are number crunchers tell you about all the beautiful things. Oh, we need to do a photo shoot in the Bahamas. No, we need to show a photo shoot in Harlem. You know, I ain't got it like that.
That you would, if you had a bunch of money sitting around,
you said, yeah, but
when I read The Power Broke, I'm like, because Elena kind of blames me sometimes for being broke all the time, or kind of poor, like, you know. I'm like, dude, we don't have any money. I got rid of it. Daymond John said there's power in being broke.
I think power in being broke?
Yeah.
You know, like we fundamentally disagree and value other things, right? And then we fundamentally love other things. When I see him on his private jet, I'm like, what the hell is he doing?
Oh, really?
I laugh at you.
You think it's stupid, huh?
Well, you know, here's the way I think about it. A round trip to California is $60,000 when you use a private jet, right? Now, I'm going to use JetBlue. I'm going to lay in the bed there, have a couple of mint, drinks there. The waitress is going to come by. The waitress is not necessarily on the private jet, unless you book it or not. I mean, I use private, don't get me wrong, about 20% of the time, in case I need to bring my whole staff, I need to get there in a timely manner. Or the check is big enough to get that damn flight. But if I'm going to spend, if I can bring me and maybe 2 or 3 other people for $5,000, and I get there, maybe my travel time is about 3 hours, 4 hours different. And it's costing me an average of, I'm saving $55,000 times 4. I'm getting paid about $15,000 an hour to sit around. Now times that.
Remember how
by 10 years.
Remember how I met him. Can you imagine me calling you? Hey, you want to fly to Vegas and JetBlue with me?
I would still met with you though.
Come on, man.
I would still met with you.
We wouldn't even know each other.
Yes,
right
we would.
now. It was a great investment.
Now,
It was a great investment.
as I was saying,
It was a great investment.
you know, but
Wait,
however, I say all that, but we both operate in different ways, and that's the beauty of Shark Tank.
Yeah.
You have a bunch of sharks up there who believe fundamentally different things, and if that is where his quality of life is that he wants to be, then it's okay. Now, don't get me wrong, I spend some good money on some real stupid shit myself, but you know, it's just a different stupid shit.
Okay. Yeah. You've been to my offices, and you know I have a lot of diversity.
Yes.
And I know you believe in that. What is the importance of people hiring from the whole pool of available talent in the world?
So diversity comes in various different things. It comes in not only race, but religion, but also age, right? Age diversity, bringing in more mature individuals who've been through it, and bringing in some of these kids who are 17 years old and they're communicating around the world in totally different ways. I think diversity is the mother of innovation. You know, because you and I, we may see things together, and it's fine. I grew up with you, but when I realized that another person on the other side of the planet who grew up totally different ways sees value in something else we're doing, or they go, you know what, you should have thought about it like this. That's what makes us so great. That's what makes the country great, you know. And I know we're going through a tough time, I'm not getting into politics now, but diversity is actually what creates innovation by far. You know, if you're talking amongst yourselves all the time, then you never get out of that ivory tower, you never get out there to see what's going on, then you're the one who's ignorant, right? So my company is extremely diverse. Female, males, young kids, old kids, Indian, Korean, Asians, you know, African Americans, Caucasians, and diversity has probably been the #1 reason for my success. You know, my father left when I was 10 years old. My mother ended up, you know, bringing somebody in my life with my stepfather, and he had to be of the Jewish faith, right? And at that time, you know, us cultures, we believe various different things. You know, I thought, you know, white people walked on water. They don't have any problems. So a lot of times growing up in the hood, the people in authority are calling you the N-word, right? So you never respect or value them. And because you feel they don't value you. Well, he taught me 2 things when he came in my life. He taught me that #1, love doesn't come to color or gender. And white people are just as screwed up as everybody else, right? And that would allow me to walk in a room and walk in a room as a man, not a black man, not a minority, not anybody else, because he always told me, Daymond, you better be pro-black, but never anti-anything else. And if we look at any kind of social upbringing or even the civil rights war or anything, it was always many diverse people coming together for one common cause, and that creates innovation. Thank
you. So like when you look at somebody to bring, do you still hire people for your company? I mean,
I do. I try to keep my company under 100 people, and most of my people, probably 70 or 80% of my people, started off in one fashion or form as an intern. They either started as a college intern, well, got credit, or they started as a person who was a professional in another industry, and they didn't come in an intern. That's illegal. They would say something like, "I'm used to getting this amount of salary, but you know what? I'm gonna come in and give you 3 months. I'm gonna bust my ass for this amount of salary because I'm gonna show you what I can do." The president of my company, Ted, started as an intern. Frank, you see back here, he's an intern. They almost all start as intern because when you're showing up before the people that are supposed to get paid show up, and you're leaving after the people are supposed to get paid leave, I need you to work for me.
And that adds to the culture
It's the hustle
that you're building as well, right?
And it sets a good standard, absolutely. A lot of the tips I've learned is successful people, we are selfish in a good way. We take care of ourselves first. You don't look at Michael Jordan and wonder how he beat or LeBron and wonder how they become so good because they went to everybody else's practice. They practiced their asses off themselves, became the best athlete they could do, and then they can go and contribute to the team. And if you're not selfish yourself, when you wake up in the morning, then you end up chasing everybody else's dream. And I say this, and I can't tell you how many people say it's changed their lives. Do not answer emails for the first hour of the day when you wake up. Because if you answer emails, all you're doing is answering everybody else's problems. How many of you got that email in the morning that said, I solved everything that I was asking you about yesterday and I got $1 million check heading your way? That don't happen, right? Don't go on social media, even Grant's and mine, in the first hour of the day. Why?
Not his. Come on, mine.
I'll tell you why you can't go on Grant. Because what's going to happen is you're going to go on there and then you're going to stay on there. Then you're going to start looking at the funny stuff and everything else. Because here's what happens. If you wake up in the morning with all these problems from everybody else in your email, right? And then you take another hour looking at everybody on social media who is, sexier, prettier, having a better time than you when they're all screwed up. You end up having all these worries of the world and then getting depressed from all this other stuff. And you stop thinking about yourself. Also prioritize your personal life and your health and your family. Make a schedule to call your mothers, kiss your mother, go to dinner with your daughters. One of my friends, and this is great for you because I didn't know this, I didn't have this technique in my life when my 2 girls were growing up, my 2 oldest girls. My friend made sure that he takes each one of his daughters out on a date every 2 months, just one at a time. Because he said, if I don't take my daughters out on a date, how are my daughters ever going to know how a man is supposed to treat them, right? Think about that, right? Absolutely.
That's why he's the people shark. He's the favorite shark on your company. Is that true? Most popular?
I don't know, but
I just think
my mother says I am, but schedule that time with your family. Why? Because you're scheduling everybody else. You're scheduling what time you got to be on the train or the plane, the conference call, what time you got to do lunch, what time you got to be at the restaurant with a bunch of other people that you don't like. But you're not scheduling time to be with your husband or your wife or your children because you're thinking that's impersonal. However, you'll turn around and 20 years will pass and the kid's out
you have a failing relationship. You gotta be selfish. You gotta know who you are. And who are you? Have you taken that hour a day or 2 hours every month or week and say, am I who I wanted to be when I was growing up? Did I fulfill my dreams? Because many of you went to school because society told you were supposed to do this, or your parents said, our house is like this. You end up being in a career that you never wanted to be in because you never took time to see who you wanted to be and write out that chart of who you want to be. Right? Come on, man. If you're going to do it, do it.
I mean, I like